Hello, I'm Garrett Rochelle with iTech, and welcome to Quick Tips with Garrett. In this video, I'm going to walk through how to use the mass update feature within generic inquiries in Acumatica. Currently, I'm on the stock items generic inquiry, but this mass update feature can be used throughout the system on any of the generic inquiries, whether it's the customer's master list, the vendor's master list, or whatever the case may be. It does apply throughout the system to the different generic inquiries. So typically, if you wanted to make a change to a record within a generic inquiry, you would just click into it, you'd find the field that you wanted to change, and say we wanted to change the default warehouse from wholesale to retail. We would just select that, and then we'd save it, and then the record's updated. Where this gets a little tricky is maybe you want to change all 126 records to retail, or maybe you need to change the first 20, the first 50. Rather than going into each record and making that change, or building an import scenario, Acumatica has come out with a third option that allows you to do this quicker and easier. So for our example today, let's assume we want to change the first 10 items here from a default warehouse of wholesale to a default warehouse of retail. So to make this happen, we're going to go to customization in the top right and go into edit generic inquiry. And this holds the nuts and the bolts of the generic inquiry, all the details, all the filtering conditions, anything like that, it's all housed here. For our purposes today, we only need to use the entry point tab. So this shows us this operations with records section. And there are a couple different things you can do here. The first checkbox here is enable mass actions on records. And this is used if you wanted to be able to copy multiple records or create templates for multiple records or different actions like that, you would check that box. This next one, enable mass record deletion. Simply if you wanted to be able to delete multiple records at once, you could check that box. What we're going to use today is the enable mass record update. So we're going to check this box, and it's going to add a new tab here called mass update fields. When we go into this, we're going to hit the plus to add in any of the fields that we want to be able to perform mass updates on. So we'll click the drop down, and you can see this is a very long list. There are all kinds of different fields we could do mass updates on. What we wanted to do was the default warehouse. So we're going to select that one. And just a note, you're not limited to just one. You could select every option on that list if you needed to. These are just the fields that you want to be able to do mass updates on. So we've chosen default warehouse. We're going to go back to our stock items generic inquiry. You'll notice at the top here we have this new actions button. This actions drops down into an update all. So you've got the two options there. If you simply wanted to update all 126 records in this generic inquiry, you can do update all and make that change there. In our case, we want to do the first 10. So we're going to select the checkboxes for the first 10 records here. And we want to change this default warehouse from wholesale to retail. So we've got the 10 selected. We're going to go to Actions, Update. And this box here is going to hold any of the options that you've selected to be eligible for mass updates. And then you will choose here which one you want to change. So we want to change the default warehouse from wholesale to retail. And then we'll click Finish. So the system thinks about it and it shows us all the green check marks, and they have been changed here in the default warehouse from wholesale to retail. And then if we wanted to change these back, it would be the very same process. We'd select these first 10, we would go to Actions, Update, select our default warehouse, and change them to wholesale. So as you can see, this is pretty quick and easy. In a lot of cases, it's going to be a little quicker than building an import scenario or importing the records by hand. So with that being said, that is updating mass records within generic inquiries in Acumatica. I want to thank you for joining me today. Be sure to check out iTech's YouTube channel for more quick tips with Garrett in the future. Thank you.